My name is Victoria Winters. Since I came to live at Collinwood, my life has been in danger several times. Until a moment ago, I thought the danger had passed, only to find myself trapped in a deserted old house by a desperate man who has already tried to murder me.
Don't scream.
I won't.
Wouldn't do you any good if you did. Nobody can hear you.
Matthew, what are you doing here? I
thought I was miles away from Collinsport. That's what I wanted people to think. It's the last place they'd think of looking for me. Too bad you couldn't stop your snooping around.
I wasn't snooping. I was just looking for the wallet I lost.
Never mind why you're here. You're here and you know I'm here. Too bad you found out, Miss Winters.
We are back talking the soap opera Dark Shadows as we end the year of 1966. We're talking December of 1966, and to me, it was the best month of Dark Shadows. So far, we had some climaxing, we had a lot of the supernatural elements really coming across the screen now. It took the show 6 months. Yeah, it took like a half a year to really start to see this show develop into what it wants to be. And now that we're there, I think it's awesome. To recap some of this, we're coming off of the story of course, Bill Malloy's death that has been drawn out a lot, but Vicky's been going back and forth, first thinking Roger did it, now thinking not, and she has to convince Burke that Roger did not kill Bill Malloy. So David's hiding Matthew out at the old house because Matthew is the one that killed Bill Malloy, and Vicky ends up finding Matthew there. And this is the main story we get over the month of December is Matthew holding Victoria captive because Matthew does not want the truth to come out that he is the one that killed Bill Malloy to protect the Collins family.
I've decided to give you a chance.
You gonna let me go?
I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna go outside and take a look around. If you're telling the truth and there are no police around, I'll head for my car. That's the last you'll ever see of me.
But what about me? You can't leave me in this horrible room.
You'll find a way to get out, or somebody will come in and find you. You'll be all right.
You're doing a wise thing, Matthew. It's not safe for you to be here. Believe me, it isn't.
You've got to cooperate with me, though. You've got to do just what I say.
Anything.
don't talk about Joe.
I don't mind at all. Let's forget about boyfriends and governesses and concentrate on us.
What about us?
I thought we were going to relax and have a good time.
We are.
You don't look relaxed.
I don't.
Why don't you kick off your shoes and make yourself at home?
Okay.
Yeah. Now you look much more relaxed.
I am.
Well, what time did Carolyn disappear?
A few hours ago.
Oh, well, do you have any particular reason to suspect that something might have happened to her?
No, not really.
I mean, she could have gone to a movie. She might be visiting a friend. There are all sorts of places she could be.
Well, it's not really Carolyn I'm worried about. It's Vicky.
Vicky?
Yes. She's supposed to be visiting a friend in Bangor. Well, he called and said she wasn't on any of the buses that arrived there.
You believe it now?
Were you expecting someone?
No. Who is it?
Joe Haskell.
What do you want?
Is Carolyn in there?
Tell him yes. Hello, Joe. Are you spying for my mother now? How manly of you.
I'm not spying on you. I don't care where you go or what you do. I'm only here because your mother's worried.
Did she call you?
That's right. I think you better let me take you home.
I'm not leaving until I want to leave.
When'll that be, tomorrow morning?
You have no right to talk to me like that, Joe.
You better use your handkerchief. The devil in the shade of lipstick you're wearing doesn't suit you.
Okay, Joe. I think you made your little speech. You better be going now.
All right, but Carolyn's coming with me.
I'm not going anyplace.
You heard the lady. Let's go. I said let's go.
Joe! Stop it! Stop it! Both of you.
I only came here because of Vicky.
Vicky?
Yeah, she's disappeared.
What do you mean?
Well, Mrs. Stoddard thought she might be with Carolyn. That's the only explanation we could think of, so that's the only reason I came.
Now, wait a minute. When was Vicky missing?
She hasn't disappeared. She's gone to Bangor with Frank Garner.
No, she never got to Bangor. She never even got to the bus. We've checked. She just seems to have vanished. Is this Vicky's bag?
Yes, it is.
And she never left Collinwood. In the meantime, I think Haskell and I ought to look around right now.
Yeah, I agree.
You have any guns on the place?
Guns?
I think we should be armed, just in case.
Are you that sure that Matthew's responsible for her disappearance?
No, I'm not, but if it's a possibility, we should be prepared for him.
Yeah, I'm with Devlin. I think we ought to be armed just in case.
Roger has some guns.
Do you know where they are?
They're in the gun rack in the back.
I'll go with you.
Thought you could outsmart me, didn't you? Thought you could trick me into trusting you so you could sneak out of here and sick the sheriff onto me. Too bad for you, Miss Winters. I was onto your game all along.
The place is deserted.
Yeah. Vicky! Why don't we split up? You look upstairs. I'll stay down here.
Okay.
Be careful, Joe. Matthew could be any place around here, and he might be armed. Where are they?
They're out combing the woods right now.
Well, we better join them. We're not doing Vicky any good here.
Dumb thing to do, Miss Winters. Real dumb.
I enjoyed this part of the story. You know, Matthews was a pretty over-the-top character about how he needs to kill Vicky and then never actually really attempts to kill Vicky. That's stuff on soap operas that gets on my nerves when you have a villain who says they're going to do something but then just talks about it and never does it. But I mean, in this case, Matthew isn't the villain, so he's just kind of like this older, slow guy who wants to protect the Collins family. So you feel kind of sorry for the guy. I did. But I also felt sorry for Vicky, who continues to get herself into all of these rough situations since she's came to Collinport. So we'll get back to that story. We also have some of the soap opera elements between Burke and Carolyn, who ends up kissing, and then Joe finding them together, and Joe attacks Burke. So, you know, we have the supernatural stuff, but we also have some soap opera shit. And, you know, it is a soap opera, so I'm glad we have some soap opera stuff with this whole love triangle. It's not even a love triangle. It's more than like a love quad, even. For back in the day, that's kind of impressive.
You take cream and sugar?
Right, please.
What is it?
You didn't say goodnight to me.
Oh, didn't I? I could have sworn I said goodbye, rather firmly.
Look, I want to talk to you for a minute.
Under normal circumstances, I'd be delighted to listen to your apology. As it is, I'm willing to forgo
I
it.
don't intend to apologize. It wasn't you that I belted.
Then what do you want? I'm not feeling well, and I'm very tired.
Not feeling well. What's the matter? Can't you handle your liquor?
I can handle anything and anyone.
Well, I just wanted to tell you don't have to worry about handling me anymore.
Fine. Send me a letter to that effect.
I'm sorry to see this has happened to you. You used to be a very nice girl.
I'm even nicer now. It must be the company I keep.
It's impossible talking to you.
Have you finally realized that? I was trying to be subtle.
And Joe ends it with Carolyn. And, you know, Joe's also getting close to Maggie, so that's why I say there's more people involved in this than just a love triangle. And we had Burke always flirting with Victoria as well, even though he tells Carolyn that he just sees Burke as, like, too young. I mean, Burke sees Vicky as, like, too young, and, like, she's not a woman, and he sees Carolyn as a woman.
I trust Matthew more than I trust some other people.
Oh, yes. Well, you trust the ghosts of the widows. You do. You're a fine judge of character.
Well, surprise, surprise. Look who's here.
Hi, Matthew. Sorry I'm late. Did you think I wasn't coming?
I knew I could depend on you, Davy. What have you brought me?
Breakfast.
You picked the right time of day.
So David is still helping Matthew, and while all this is going on, Matthew's holding Vicky captive at the old house. People starting to realize she's missing. But then we have Matthew hearing ghostly voices at the old house and seeing a light coming off of the portrait of Josette Collins.
Matthew! Matthew!
Where are those voices coming from?
What voices? I didn't hear anything.
Voices calling to me. You heard them? You must have.
I didn't hear a thing.
You're lying to me.
No, Matthew, really, I didn't hear anything.
It wasn't just my imagination.
Matthew?
Huh?
Matthew!
What is it?
Matthew!
Who's there?
Matthew!
Who's there? Who's there? Who's calling my name?
Matthew! I'm calling you, Matthew.
Why?
Josette. Josette Collins.
No. No! No! No.
And so we get this really good climax that I enjoyed because the ghosts are all coming out now. We got both Bill Malloy's ghost and the ghost of Josette Collins coming out to haunt Matthew, to scare Matthew from killing Victoria, and David ends up finding Victoria, trying to convince Roger to come to the old house to see, you know, they've built up this relationship, this father-son relationship between Roger and David, where they kind of hate each other. It's kind of awkward at times because, you know, David's a boy, so it really makes Roger look bad. So while this is climaxing, another great thing Dark Shadows does here is start building up their next story, because, you know, we're getting the climax of all of these the first 6 months here. It's what it feels like for the most part. I mean, there's still a lot left to do with Burke versus the Collins family, in my opinion, but still, it all has climax to Bill Malloy's death and the aftermath, and we're getting that on one side. But they do a really good job as a mysterious woman comes to town, asking Maggie questions at the restaurant, and when Sam finds out about this, he's just very distressed.
You know who she is?
That woman that was in here yesterday?
Who do you think I'm talking about?
Easy, Pop. I couldn't find out anything about her.
Why not?
Well, because she left here right after you did, and she hasn't been back since. Hello.
Hello.
Menu? No, thank you. Just coffee, please. But it was good seeing your family again. Oh, well, I haven't seen them yet. Kind of getting your nerve up. In a way. Well, I'm sure they're looking forward to seeing you. Well, I don't know. Well, they're expecting you, aren't they? No. Well, then it'll be a surprise. More than that. It'll be a shock. You know, you look very familiar. Do I? Very. You know, I'm wondering if I've seen you before.
Oh, well, I doubt it. You couldn't have been more than in your early teens when I left here.
Well, I may have been a teenager, but I'm sure I've seen you before.
Oh, well, possibly.
To us, and whatever may happen.
Are you going to tell me what's on your mind, or are you going to pass out first?
When I tell you, I want to be as close to passing out as possible.
Come on, Evans.
Okay. Here's a hypothetical question for you. What's the worst possible thing that could happen to you?
All right, Evans.
Answer it.
You. Becoming my social equal.
You are a snob, aren't you? Well, I'll tell you this. Becoming your equal is not a very desirable thing to be. What do you think of that?
In exactly 1 minute, I'm going to walk out of here unless you tell me what's on your mind.
You ain't going to walk out of here. You'll stay. You might even buy me another drink.
You're a hopeless dump. You'll never bother me again.
I saw someone.
What's this all about?
I saw someone that I never expected to see again. Someone that you never expected to see again. The person who could change your life as well as mine. Huh?
There's only one person who...
That's right, Roger. That's right. Roll out the welcome mat. Here, my boy. Laura is back in town. Smile, Roger. Your wife is home.
Laura, who is David's mother, and of course has that history with Roger because they conceived David, and there's clearly a history that Sam's involved with, and we'll get back to this storyline. We got to get to the climax of Matthew. So basically the ghosts of Josette and Bill Malloy scare Matthew so bad from trying to kill Vicky that the old poor dude has a heart attack. and dies because of the ghosts. And during this time, Vicky also sees the ghost of Josette Collins and thinks that ghost has a stark resemblance to her. And they do a good job of tying that to Vicky, who's been trying to find her past history and if there really is a connection in Collins Woods. So, good tie-in there as well.
Where are you?
I'm in here.
Are you all right? Are you okay?
David was right after all.
Did David tell you where I am?
Yes, but I didn't believe him. Here, use this knife.
Hello, Burke.
I just came up to say goodnight. How are you feeling?
Fine. I'm quite exhausted, but as long as I don't think about tonight, I'll be all right.
Don't think about it. Put it out of your mind. Just remember you're safe.
Thanks to you and Roger. Burke, how can I ever repay you?
Knowing you're alive is payment enough.
When I told you that I saw the ghost tonight, did you believe me?
Yes, I believed you.
Well, I know it sounded incredible, and maybe you thought that I was hysterical. But I wasn't. I know that I saw Josette Collins. She was as real as you are.
Don't think about it anymore.
She didn't frighten me. She was very kind to me. She told me not to be afraid. You know, I think that she was watching over me the whole time that I was there.
So this month was just hitting all around. This was definitely the best month of Dark Shadows so far. Honestly, my rating could probably be higher, but I couldn't go too high because from day to day, and this is kind of my biggest issue from any pre-1980s soap opera I've ever watched, is that from day to day the episodes can be quite boring and just dragged out. Even though they're short, there is some repetition to them that I have a problem with in modern soap operas like Bold and the Beautiful being repetitive. My biggest issue with Dark Shadow so far is that on any given week, the episodes are repetitive that week. So that's why I didn't give so high of ratings. But I did enjoy the climax to this. I liked that both Burke and Roger find Vicky and save her, and that the ghosts all came out, scared Matthew to death, literally. And then Victoria sees the ghost of Josette Collins, thinks there's a resemblance to her, to tie that into her own story. The storylines came together here very well, and we got a good climax to the story, which is all I can ask for. Now, they also, like I talked about, started this story with Laura. Laura's in town, and Roger and all of them are slowly starting to find this out, and that she is wanting her son David, of course.
The clerk said she left about an hour ago. Well, that's unlike Laura. She used to sleep till noon.
Did she leave word where she could be reached?
Apparently not.
Well, you could have left a message for her to call you.
I'm not in that big a rush to see my dear wife. In fact, I'd prefer not seeing her at all.
Pop! Pop!
Go away.
Come on, wake up.
No, just sleep a little while longer.
No, because I have to get to work, and I'm not going to leave you in this condition. And get some coffee in you.
Coffee? Who needs that stuff?
You do.
Oh, good morning. Yeah.
Well, you'd know if you opened your eyes.
Oh, I never want to open them again. Ever again.
You deserve that hangover. You were impossible last night. I'm going to get you some coffee.
Hope I had a good time.
Hey, what's this? I've never seen this before. Is this the painting you started last night?
Was I painting last night?
Well, don't you remember?
No.
You were determined to paint last night. I couldn't talk you out of it. This must be what you started. Doesn't look like your style, though. I've never seen you paint like this before.
Let's be straightforward, Laura.
Oh, yes, we must. Now more than ever.
Where do we stand exactly?
More important than that, where are we going?
All right, legally. We are still man and wife, if you will, and I'm still responsible for you.
Roger, I have no desire whatsoever to continue our marriage. I won't oppose a divorce. I feel that we should both be free to face the future squarely.
What is it that you want?
I want complete custody of David.
Mother.
David, what are you doing up? Get back in bed. You'll catch cold. David! David, come back here!
Mother!
David!
Mother!
Come back! He was trying to run out of the house.
David, what is it?
Wake up, son! Wake up!
Bad dream. I had a bad dream.
It's over now.
My mother was there. She was calling me. I could hear her. She was calling me.
So that's going to be the next story to drive the show for the next few months. I have seen this story before, and it's a mixed bag for me. I like the story, but I also have a problem with it being, it eventually gets dragged out like the first story. So it'll be interesting to see what I like about it or dislike about it my second go round seeing it, and now actually having to give it a rating. But I do like the start of the story, and we have David dreaming about his mother having nightmares and then thinking that she is watching him. Then we also have Sam, who was drunk after finding out that Laura was back in town, and draws this picture drunkenly that he just had to draw, and it's a picture of a woman burning in a fire, or basically just a woman in flames. So that story starting to come together. So yeah, all around, December was a very solid month of soap opera for Dark Shadows. I enjoyed it immensely. I think the fact that we got climaxes, we got movement in stories, even the love triangle or love quad or whatever it is with Joe and Carolyn and Burke and Maggie, I enjoyed that. So this was my highest grade so far for Dark Shadows. I gave it an 80 B-. Honestly, it probably could be a little higher. Maybe I'm being a little too harsh on the grading so far with this, but I still think an 80 is a good grade for this month of Dark Shadows. That leaves the average for Dark Shadows so far at a 77.29. This is the first time Dark Shadows has been above 77 on an average rating in this little experiment I'm doing since the summer, since September. So, yeah. Solid month for Dark Shadows in December. I say December makes watching and pushing through some of the boringness of the first 5 months of the show worth it, because the climax was worth it. And now we're getting a new story. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I gave December an 80, and on average now Dark Shadows has a 77.29. We will be entering the year of 1967. I will still mostly probably be sticking with Dark Shadows. I would like to try and find enough Coronation Street to try to start adding this to this soap opera experiment. I know I might be able to watch The Doctors by the end of the year, but I don't think that's till the very end of 1967. So for now, I will be sticking with Dark Shadows.
I have to go into town anyway. I'll stop off at the Collinsport Inn, pick up your bags, and bring them back up here to you.
That's awfully nice of you. I'd appreciate that very much. You can just ask for my bags. They're all packed. They are? Oh, well, yes. Actually, I never bothered unpacking. I really didn't expect to be staying at the inn that long. Well,
I'll be back later then.
oh, thank you, Carolyn.
Of course.
David. David. David, I want you. I need you. Come to me. Come to your mother. You hear me calling you, don't you? Don't you, David?